I have started recording. I think this is like what, part 5?
Happy Election Day.
Happy Election
Oh, yeah,
Day.
that's what's happening today.
Watashi hashtag red wave.
You dumb whitehoid.
Careful.
Alright, does anyone know where we are? I think
We're on skiapods in Bologna.
We're on Blue Wave, I'm pretty sure.
hold up.
Hashtag Blue Wave, everybody. No, we're gonna force Donald Trump to tell us about the
hold up. We most certainly are not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We most certainly are not. Last I checked, we were on the
Social credit system or January flap circle?
I think it's the January flap circle.
That sounds fantastic.
Hold on, where? Some of these look familiar.
I am sorry about that.
About what?
Mike's spamming there for a second. 1.1 seconds.
And he keeps doing it. And he just keeps doing it.
Oh yeah, we did do the Lemurians at least.
Yeah, we did. We should might as well just skip the January flap circle because I can't find nothing.
Well, hold on.
Not in the archive either.
Not in the archive. Why they? Oh. Alright, hold on. But I didn't get like fully adjusted here. Alright, get out my magic pen. Thickness 25. The January flap circle, it has been blacked. Alright, so Social Credit System 2020.
That sounds familiar. Okay.
Well, as you know, there is one in China. It is a sort of do good thing and you get upvotes, which tells the government how trustworthy of a person you are.
So the actual social thing that actually is missing from a communistic and socialistic system.
Yeah. So the theory is that through one way or another, we'll get one too, probably based off electronic, and in some theories think it'll pair it off of social media. Oh, you don't have a lot of connections. You might be one of those dangerous incels.
Oh, I see it now. As of mid-2018, it is unclear whether the system will be an ecosystem of various scores and blacklists run by government agencies and private companies, or if it will be one unified system.
I don't think that the American people would let that happen.
I mean, it doesn't seem far-fetched to me.
It doesn't seem far-fetched, but like, I don't know, some big political aspect would have to occur in America for that to happen, that's for sure.
Something called the Volok conspiracy is something. Looks like it's connected somehow.
United Kingdom. Think about it.
Oh, it's a blog. Never mind.
Anyway, ribomancy.
Sticks. It's a word. It's a formal noun. To douse with a stick.
Any wood, rod, wand, staff, stick, arrow, or the like.
Of course.
Why is it on this iceberg then?
I'll post an image. It might have something to do with spiritualism.
Looks like it. Unfortunately, I've never seen this before, so I couldn't describe it to you even if I wanted.
Boson, are you here?
Boson?
Oh, you mean the old-fashioned divining rod. Those are always fun. his superiors got to him.
I guess he's not here.
Okay. It's been referenced into biblical verses. Saint Jerome connected it to Hosea 4:12, which is... Hold on. Come on, you stupid service. Hosea 4:12, my people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. So, presuming the staff is the one that told them to go, fuck it, let's go be prostitutes, I guess.
Alright.
Actually, I haven't put in the word conspiracy for it, though. No, nothing beyond blogs.
Well, not a real conspiracy then, I suppose.
What the fuck? There's a... Fin fiction comes up.
Did somebody say film fiction?
Did someone say eggnoid? Oh, man. Skiapods and Bellamy's.
I could only find results for the skiapod, which is a one-legged dwarf from Mediterranean mythology.
Really?
I can't find anything on Bellamy's. In fact, Google doesn't even recognize it's anything other than baby pout.
It's apparently a character on One Piece. There's trivia on the page.
Oh wait, it's misspelled.
Is it supposed to be an A?
It's Bellamy's, not Bellamy's. And in that case, in this picture I posted, they're long-necked people.
You mean the thing that looks like a turkey?
Yeah, Columbus wrote in his journal that he expected to find these creatures in North America.
Well, that's dumb.
There was a Samuel Bellamy who was an actual pirate, but I don't think that's the same thing.
Alright, well, consent manufacture.
It is a book, as far as I can tell.
Is it manufacturing consent or consent manufacture?
I'm fairly certain it's the latter.
The name for it?
So, it is a book. Proposes that the mass communication media are effective and powerful ideological.
Okay, wait a minute. How could Columbus have expected to find anything in North America? Wasn't he trying to find it? He didn't even know North America was there.
That brings up a good point, Baph.
Why is this working?
Alright,
I'm sorry, I had...
I posted a tiny little excerpt in voice.
Follow the pillow. Oh.
It's basically the idea that dystopia is self-induced.
Okay. Cool. Direwolf.
Boson, where have you been?
I've been having internet problems. It's part of the course group.
It's an extinct species of dog. I'm not really seeing how that's iceberg worthy.
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on.
not.
A lot of Game of Thrones stuff for some reason.
Well,
Direwolf versus Sabertooth Animal Jane VidCon Conspiracy.
Locust. Oh wait, hold up. Go ahead and give us that one.
It's a YouTube video.
Oh, post the YouTube video. You can check it out later.
Oh god, no you don't. Never mind.
Why not?
It's a video game.
Oh god. Alright, so yeah, I'm blacking that.
Alright. Augustin?
Oh, what are we? Oh, we're on Phlogiston? We're on
I
Phlogiston?
posted a very poorly posted image.
The true nature of Phlogiston?
Yeah, it's a debunked scientific theory from a while back that things only caught on fire because they contained this flammable element, and they substantiated their claim by saying, well, you can't burn ashes, which means that the element that makes fire is apt.
He's not completely wrong. The theory attempted to explain processes such as combusting and rusting, which is now collectively known as oxidation.
We have now reached one
It's a
of
pretty
the...
respectable theory.
It's interesting, I think. We have now reached a theory that I have been looking forward to this whole fucking time. Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, leader of the Canadian peoples, is in fact Fidel Castro's son.
Wait,
Side-by-side image comparisons are very...
are you including his brother?
Probably.
Like, look at these dudes.
Baph, I'm gonna have to ask you to not talk at the same time. Because we can keep hearing my voice through your mic and it sounds awful.
Keep hearing his voice through your mic too.
Well, that sounds impossible.
Just use mic etiquette, Boson.
It's impossible.
I would ask you to do the same. Because I like headphones on them.
To me,
It
this
would
is
be
just
impossible
so
for you to
weird
use.
it can't be impossible.
Unfortunately, there's no proof to support the theory.
What was it?
Yeah, even his behavior is weird, though, Baph. Like, why was he honoring his death?
Okay, there's one from Snopes, one from The Sun, one from the American Mirror.
Oh, right, because Snopes has been known to be 100% accurate.
Global News, NYU Local, CBC.California, Ruth Fully Yours, Reddit, Black Pepper. What the hell is Black Pepper?
Snopes is reliable when it's not political.
No, it's the Donald. The suicide note left by Fidel Castro's eldest son has rocked the Cuban nation this week. Astonishing revelation being the claim that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was his half-brother and the son of late Fidel. What the fuck?
Oh,
That's true.
is that true? If that's true, then we've won.
Hold on. I'm curious now.
Anyway, while he investigates that, we'll go further. 13 Children of a Cork.
Can't find any references unless Boson has them.
No, yeah, during the last session, I looked ahead and tried to do some research because it sounded interesting. But I could not find a fucking thing. There's nothing.
That's a big oof.
And I'm really upset because it sounded cool, but there's just...
Oh, by the way, we've entered Lupin tier. Spinosaurus bombed on purpose. Now, this one requires a little bit of context and history. So, for the longest time, we didn't know what the Spinosaurus looked like, because the only skeleton we ever had was bombed during World War I. And so I suppose this theory poses that it was bombed on purpose. And with that, the rest of you can take it away.
Right. Can't find any references, you know, that support this theory.
Fucking damn it, the lag made me black out something else. Alright, Verlman.
Alright, this one's interesting. I just did a bit of reading. So,
Oh, are we on the Verlman?
yeah, unless you want to talk about it, I was gonna read all
No,
this.
no, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, you enjoy that person. Hey, now we got this. So, Barrowman. 1915, some people discovered some human remains in Florida, hence Vero Beach, alongside remains of, I'm gonna butcher this, Pleistocene animals, which are like 11,000-year-old creatures. So it was really controversial for a while.
I was just gonna say, I think it's Pleistocene.
I mean, if you can say, go ahead. Anyway, so these animals are like, older than the common accepted age of humanity by people at the time. So it was a big shock. I don't really see how it's controversial, though.
Alright, blacking and moving on. Ancient automata.
Ooh. Of course, when you look into this, you think of the famous mechanism. I can get some other references.
By the way, I'm pre-blacking. OJ is Carlos's father. I don't think we fucking care.
Let's see. There are many examples of automata in Greek mythology. Hephaestus created an example for his workshop, an artificial man of bronze that carried out simplistic tasks like carrying books. It didn't walk, obviously. Of course, there's also been ducks of a robotic nature found as early as the Persians. I'll try to get some pictures. And of course, the famous Antikythera mechanism.
Hey,
Let me get that duck.
Well, I can't look at that duck. You haven't posted it.
No, I'm going to get that duck.
Oh, okay.
Here's that duck. They even got the vagina accurate.
that's true.
I mean, if anything, it falls under the out-of-place artifact category. I mean, it's really not that.
Yeah, but Baph, the out-of-place artifact thing's starting to lose credibility with me. Ever since you posted that thing on the debate hall, I'm like, nah, fuck this. This is a load of horse shit.
And then, like, later into the 16 and 1700s, you got things like this. The mechanical human, which was a very complex mechanism.
At that point, we're ancient anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the about Fidel Castro and Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's been known that his father did in fact admire Fidel Castro to some degree, and it rests on three things. Their obvious likeness, the fact that Margaret Trudeau, his mother, met him one time in 1970 or 1971, and two, she's a slut. Apparently, she is in fact a slut, and they did in fact meet, but I'm unsure of whether they actually had sex or not. They probably did at some point, though, but I'm not sure if it resulted in a child. However, his eldest son did in fact kill himself, and I can't find the original note, but there's at least two sources that claim that his suicide note said that Justin Trudeau is his half-brother. So, it's possible that he at least sees him as that, but it's unlikely that it's biological.
Interesting.
Keep it on.
Hungarian sucking phantom.
Okay, so this one is
I just finished
one of
the
the. You just finished.
video.
Oh, which one did you see? The live one?
Yeah. Oral phantom attacks homeless and hungry.
So there's a guy in Hungary that's just going around just sucking old homeless men's dick. No one knows who he is. He just shows up.
Yeah, no one knows who he is.
He just shows up and just sucks her dick and then leaves. They call him the sucking phantom.
Yeah, it's a criminal case currently under investigation.
Okay.
I'm not going to post a video for obvious reasons. It's
Okay.
not-
Ghosty
Do live leak
Suctiker.
do live leak videos end? Because I can just post a link.
It's NSFW.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not posting NSFW content. Yeah, I'll post it for a
I mean,
split second.
if I was to link Pornhub and it doesn't show anything, I'm still linking Pornhub.
I'll just post it very quickly and delete it. Okay, is that alright? Like that?
Don't let me catch you.
Quickly.
Do it fast.
Quickly.
Okay, it's good.
Okay, could you actually just like PM me the link? You could have just done that.
Yeah, but we wanted to see it.
And I.
Man, Boson,
It's a
your
video of a
your mic
video.
is once again breaking up.
Yeah, that'll happen.
By the way, I am inclined to remove Flint Lockwood from this because he's no longer with us.
He's still here, he's just not talking.
Yeah, he came back to the server, so he, like everyone predicted that he's just not here for the
Shit,
Iceberg.
that twink is actually doing it.
What? Oh, the Phantom?
Is he even wearing pants?
I don't know. He's like a shadow. You can't.
What are you talking about? He looks like the gayest guy there.
No, he's like a phantom. It's like- you
Okay,
can't tell
okay.
who-
We get it. Dick sucking twinks. Got it. Smoke circles. Are those real, Baph?
Oh, these are. It's a very well documented thing. It has to do with physics. And the only reason it's on the Iceberg is because there was an X thread. Some guy spurging out about them, but it's science. It's not really mysterious. You can do it with your mouth. I mean, come on.
Alright. Professional sports is scripted.
Yeah.
This one was just true. Like, I mean, if I'm being honest, they would have no reason not.
Well, why would they? Or, like, you know, can't they just assert the opposite, that they have no reason to script it?
It would certainly make the betting game a lot more profitable.
Lord
that's the same.
Pakal's machine,
viewership.
blacked.
Lord Pakal's machine is
It's-
true, Sinaticus.
No, it's not.
It's a rocket ship.
It's thoroughly debunked. Stop it.
Just because you've seen that same shape in other paintings doesn't mean it's not a spaceship.
Stop it. Stop it.
Come on now. Well, disprove that, Sinaticus. Why
I
is
am
he
not a
seeing it in
Mayan
other things?
expert. All I can do is link you back to the 2-hour fucking video that debunks it.
But I guess that you
hours.
clearly haven't watched, because you can't even disprove one ancient alien.
You're right, because I don't fucking remember 2-hour videos. However, for everyone interested, I will leave a link down below in the description when Orson gets off his lazy fucking asshole and actually...
Yeah, guys,
edits the
remember to
previous
click that link
episodes.
when I remember to post it in April of 2019 with this video.
And I will go to the debate hall right now, scroll all the way down, go to history, alright, grab the video for you and link it into the voice.
Is it the Ancient Aliens one?
It's a guy who sits down for 2 hours, has credible citations, and just debunks everything about the ancient alien myth. It's all here, alright? I'm telling you right now, anything ancient aliens is just getting blacked immediately. And if you want to know why, that video is why. With that being said, what's the Dogon tribe?
They're a tribe in... Hold on, let me see. Okay, they're a tribe in Africa. They very intimate knowledge of star systems and planets and all that shit, like way before anyone else. Like they,
Even the Chinese?
yeah, they had knowledge of the way that the Sirius star system like moved in relation to the planets and stuff like that, and they claim fish people from the Sirius system came and gave them that knowledge.
Fish people!
It's not
Yeah,
concerning.
they're clearly talking about the Jews. That's beside.
I think they're
The
talking
sea
about them
people.
Atlanteans.
Oh.
Or sea people. That's a good.
Yeah, a lot of their information's accurate, and then some of it's not. Their most remarkable thing is that there's a star in our solar system that's invisible to the human eye, but they can prove it's there.
How?
That's a secret.
What?
This post on X also has this weird tidbit that doesn't seem to be related. It says the word cannabis comes from the Greek word for two dog, and that the Dogon tribe called the Sirius star system the dogs, and that there are two of them. I don't know how that's related.
That's what that's what they look like.
Oh, that's what the fish people look.
It's the Dogon.
That was pretty cool.
Like, wow, I can't believe they managed to photograph these fish people before that.
Looks like they would skin you.
Well, according to the Iceberg, photography has existed since the medieval ages. I mean, who's to say they didn't make it first?
That's true. That's true. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Enneagram.
That's the personality types for the 9 stuff. I'm not really seeing a conspiracy thing yet. Oh, there is one thing involving the INFJ one. Though
Okay.
I'm not really all that informed on personality types. Supposedly, people who are INFJs are more likely to believe conspiracy theories.
What did I score on mine again? Baph, you posting, are you posting Planet 9 already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're going to get anywhere.
Yeah, we're not gonna get anywhere with that last one. I blacked it. Planet 9.
Planet 9 has science behind it.
It does. Vulcan finally has science behind it.
This undiscovered super Earth-sized planet, it's hypothetical because, you know, it's not proven to exist, but there's a lot of weird gravitational anomalies. If it was a singular body, however, it would have the mass of 10 Earths, a diameter of 4 times the Earth's, and an elongated orbit lasting 15,000 years. To date, efforts to detect it have failed, probably due to its distance.
But there is some science to prove it.
I believe it's the origin of the Planet X thing. So even if it is there, detecting it is very unlikely because, you know, it's really far away. All we know is that there's some gravity messed up kind of bubble.
The Crooked Forest.
Okay, it's a forest in northern Poland that has all the trees look like that this weird shape where they're all crooked near the bottom. Like I posted an image, I don't know if you did. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there's no like scientific explanation as of yet as to why they're like.
It looks as though they sprouted up and then moved to the left. What the fuck? That's just weird. SLC daycare.
Was that the creepy great daycare that had?
We still gotta go over it.
Okay, alright, so let me see if I can find some in-depth information. Because I remember what this was. No, we don't have to do SLC daycare yet. You skipped a whole.
Oh fuck! I skipped a whole row. We'll get to that row after this, since we've started it. Alright, well, whilst I wait for this, I'm gonna go feed my dogs. Let you guys get some.
You have a good time feeding your fucking animals today.
I will. Feed my fucking animals.
Okay, it's after 6 o'clock and the maps haven't updated yet. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's 7.
Maybe they don't want to show it.
Oh no. They hacked the paper ballots again? The whole Planet 9 is real. That'd be pretty nice. Maybe it's where Atlantis went.
Maybe the real Atlantis was inside our hearts the whole. With me and you.
What are we even looking into right now?
SLC daycare. Salt Lake City daycare.
Oh yeah, with all the creepy pictures.
Yeah. Well, It looks creepy, but I don't think there are very many pictures.
I'm currently looking into Charles Wells. See if there's anything there of note.
Alright, I'm looking at Prism.
Prism should be pretty damn easy. It's popular knowledge.
What is?
Hmm?
What's popular now?
Prism?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. They're hacking the paper balance.
You know, I'm struggling to find anything on the Charles Wells thing. It's an alcoholic beverage company, but I can't find any conspiracy theories on them.
I'm sure we could find something.
All I can find that's even slightly suspicious is that they own housing developments alongside alcohol, which is a very interesting combination, to say the least.
What I found was that weird website that I just DM'd to you. Charles Wells is in the URL, but it's not mentioned anywhere in the actual content of the webpage. So
Okay.
Yankee hypocrisy. No.
What do we have for SLC daycare?
Alright, well, it's a daycare in Salt Lake City called IBM Daycare.
That's it?
Well, it was part of the Pizzagate. Some.
Well, not necessarily. No. Let me. I was getting an image. Sorry about that. It looks like that. It's very, very brightly colored. Someone who's living in the area thought that it was suspicious, and a bunch of stuff came up and corroborated that. Yeah.
Someone in the area thought it was what?
Suspicious. Very suspicious. Did you get that?
Yeah, I mean, Pohl talked about it for a long time. I don't think anything came out of it.
Well, there's a lot of weird stuff about it. I remember, one of the people came out and they talked about it. They said that they were a mailman, and that whenever they deliver mail, no matter what time of day it is, whenever they show up to the daycare, it's always nap time. There's, apparently all the kids in the neighborhood call it the scary house or something. One guy showed up and looked in the window and all they saw was a single chair turned towards a TV that was playing static or something.
That could be
They
hearsay.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely hearsay. So is the mailman thing. It's all hearsay, but it's just things that people... their website is really sketchy. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's all, stock images. Chill.
If you can find it, that'd be great.
Yeah. Let me see if I can...
Give him a chance to find it, because I gotta go, put my pizza away.
There was apparently a Charles Wells who came into some county looking for heroin.
I think it's referring to the company, the English company.
All right. Once you go there, it asks you to give Flash permission to run. If you're brave enough to do that, go ahead. But
Oh, the Great British Food Conspiracy.
So Charles Wells, it's an alcoholic company, but they also have housing developments that they lease out to people. But I can't find anything suspicious.
You sure? What about this?
By all means.
Alright, let's see. Damn it, I lost a...
Okay, that's a broken website for me.
Some years ago, I spent 2 weeks at a British computer science meeting, living in a university dorm and eating their food. The widespread feeling among the Americans present was that the food had no taste. Most amazing was an apple pie, but had no taste at all. Later, I spent some months living in Oxford in the house of a professor on leave and cooking for myself. Even though I cooked the same food the same way as I do in Ohio, it had no taste at all. I investigated and discovered the Great British Food Conspiracy. There's a factory in Worcestershire in which all British food, that being obviously the food served in restaurants by Asians, which is delicious. At the factory, all the flavor is removed and used for some purpose to discover, although I must say, Shire sauce is particularly flavored. The denatured food is then slyly redistributed to shops and non-ethnic restaurants. This map, which is on MapQuest, right here.
Alright, I'm completely back. What are we on?
Charles Well.
Oh, okay.
It shows zoom in for proof of the conspiracy. Most recent, I saw another proof of this conspiracy. A car with a bumper sticker that said, "I am the anti-spy." What the fuck?
Is
That
it a white
proves
person
the
driving?
existence of this conspiracy. Some authority figures have tried to put what politicians call a spin, in other words, a lie, on this bumper sticker. This is obviously another aspect of the cover-up of the conspiracy. Charles Will. Oh no, that's just the guy's name. Well, apparently it doesn't have anything to do with Charles Wells, but on this guy.
Okay.
Alright, well. Prison.
Judge Boy, you went into that. Go ahead.
Prism?
Yeah. If you don't have a synopsis, I know one off the top of the head.
Know that it's a surveillance program that being developed.
Is Judge Boy cutting out for anybody else?
What?
No, yeah, he's cutting out for me too.
Judge Boy, you're a little glitchy, but I heard what you
He's
said. Yeah, it's a government surveillance program that involves a lot of companies publicly. It's not so much a conspiracy theory, more so is it ambiguous as to its intention. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Skype, they're all part of it.
As well as NSA, Google, visa amendments for some reason.
Crazy!
Apparently it's supposed to be a future part of the internet backbone.
Find the lost Thunderbird photo whilst I go grab my dogs.
I'm gonna go figure out this
Okay, I
internet
guess-
problem real quick.
I guess we've moved on from prison.
I have the picture, but I don't know.
That's not.
I know it's not it. There is no official version of it. Wasn't it a bunch of like people?
I
in the
beg to
20th
differ.
century?
I beg to differ. Here's the official version.
How do you know?
Because I just know.
So what is it? Chainmail? Was it like a hoax? Is it a genuine mystery? What is this?
What, the Thunderbird? It's a bunch of people. They remember seeing a photo of like a bunch of cowboys with like a pterodactyl crucified to the barn behind, or something like that. But no one can find.
Oh, it sounds like a Mandela thing.
Yeah. It's possible that the image is like real, and they saw. or it's Mandela effect and a bunch of people photoshopped stuff out.
I'm just gonna post every variation I can find.
Well, it's weird because apparently there was a newspaper that published a story about a bunch of cowboys that killed a dragon. Like the newspaper literally says.
Huh.
Yeah, I like how it's always a pterodactyl. Except for this one where it's a giant bird.
T-pose.
T-pose. Let me see if I can find the newspaper article.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Like, I have to know that it's substantiated.
I'm gonna give you a little more time. Gotta deal with a couple of shit over here.
The maps are still not changing. Yeah, the anticipation, it's painful.
I know, I'm trying. I'm trying here, I'm trying. By the way, Beth, that first photo you posted, like the very first one of the guy with this,
Yeah.
that's not a Photoshop. That one's like an actual one. That animal is called Argentavis magnificens, and it was.
You have a link? Okay, never mind, I found it.
I take it nothing on that newspaper, eh?
No, I found it. I'm gonna copy paste it into Discord, but I'm having trouble copy pasting its video.
I want to say, Baph, you said that this map was gonna change at 6
Well,
p.m.
I guess it's 7 p.m. now.
Oy vey, Baph. Oy vey. Oh God. Why does Discord do that?
God damn it, it's too long.
Oy vey. Zuck voted straight red without even looking at the candidates.
That's not what we're discussing.
What?
Okay, so that's an excerpt from the article.
Resembling a huge alligator with an elongated tail. Neat.
Everyone's gonna see that I voted straight red too. Oh well,
Here's
I don't fucking care.
There's a link to the actual newspaper article if you want to go read it, like directly from the microfeed.
Alright, cool. Novos Ordo Mundi.
I think that was like. Correct me if I'm, wrong, but I think that's like a hyper autistic X user made like this manifesto as to why millennials were demons or something to that nature. It's like this weird monochromatic journal that you can look at online. I'll try to find. Oh, okay. I'm retarded. It's not the same thing, although it's similar. It's just a variation of NWO. And I'm sure NWO has been covered countless times. You familiar?
Nope.
You've never heard NWO Sinaticus?
Nope.
It's
Isn't
like
that the rap? Isn't that the
it's like the most common conspiracy theory ever.
Isn't that the rap group from Compton?
Dr. Dre was part of that group. I thought he was the same guy as Drake. Let's see.
Fragnet.
The common theme in conspiracy theories about an NWO is that a secretive elite with a globalist agenda is conspiring to take over the world with an authoritarian government, replacing and simultaneously dulling all cultures and people. It was predominantly a 1990s conspiracy theory that complemented the militia movement at the time and the distrust for Bill Clinton.
Oh no. Hold up. Let me switch to Audacity here. I'm gonna
What's wrong?
It appears as though I might be picking up your voice on the fucking OBS. OBS is not being helpful, so I'm just gonna shut it off and use this instead and hope that this works out. Oh god. Increasing the playback speed. Oh god. So yeah, just carry on whilst I fiddle with this. Oh god.
What do you think of the NWO, Boson?
I mean,
You know, it's cited, you know, the UN, NATO, the protocols of Zion.
well, if you're going towards the NWO, the UN is very well. I find unlikely that there isn't some kind of globalizing agenda that higher up officials in the UN have, and in things like the EU and in NATO. But the thing with conspiracy theories and theorists is that they sometimes get like way too overzealous with stuff, and the things that they say kind of get out of hand. Even if they're somewhat based in facts, they can kind of go overboard.
I mean, it has many. It has a lot of variety, but the thing is, it's a central idea that culture and species of person just get all muddled together into one group under the elite. Now, beneficiary or otherwise, I can see that. You know, that's not too far fetched for me. It's also a book by H.G. Wells.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, if NWO is, realized, it's probably going to be accidental rather than a cabal of evil men.
I'm gonna appear on the left side of this fucking microphone. I don't believe it.
Well, I don't put a lot of stock in the whole cabal, but at the same time, it'll be an agenda rather than a group of people.
Yeah. Gonna have to replay this and make sure I didn't fuck with everything.
There's no council of men up in the UN saying, how many buildings have we torn down and replaced with glass skyscrapers? Not enough.
Well, this has been my always problem with Illuminati-related stuff. It just doesn't look like that's the case. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Some people cite the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah, they do, but like
Hell, but we have like video, photographic, every evidence possible that the Bohemian Grove is a real thing.
It's not far-fetched. It's just whether or not it's incidental or intentional.
yeah, but I mean, it's so weird, right? Because you take a look at like some of these I have like a file of like leaked fucking
I mean, if the common goal of the
I can't think of their
West
name
is
at the
to bring
moment.
its economic and social policies to every corner of the globe, it's not far-fetched. The idea, perpetrated by just the Western model, it's to make everything uniform.
I suppose.
And I think the NWO thing is at least partially. It has some merit, but I think it'll be incidental.
Oh God,
You
I'm
accidentally wiped out distinct Asian culture, but consumer.
yeah. People are gonna
Skyscrapers are just symbolic.
fucking yell at me for the mic spam. Well, Sherman Church. What is a Sherman Church?
Well, what I could find, and what I found to be the most interesting, you might find something else, but the one that I find most interesting is this obscure cult known as the Church of the Subgenia. They worshipped a deity known as Jehovah One, and they believed that a man named J.R. Dobbs in 1950 saw a vision of Jehovah One on a television set that he built.
What the
And as
fuck?
such, he wrote their holy book known as the Pre-Scripture.
Okay. And what's in it?
I'm not sure, but I have an image.
That's a mega oof.
I have an image of Jehovah One from the Wikipedia article that I thought.
Oh, of course, it's on some Illuminati shit. So why Jehovah One? That's what I want to know.
I think the smell of boomer coming off that picture.
Well, I don't think it's boomers actually, because
Look at the cute little pyramid with wings.
well, I don't think it's boomers. I think it's fedora tippers actually, because on the Wikipedia article it states that it's actually a parody religion.
Oh, jeez.
So is the
it's
fedora
on some
tippers.
spaghetti monster shit, most likely.
I hate Christians so much, I'm gonna pretend to be a cultist.
Yeah, 'cause that totally helps everyone at the end of the day.
The next one's much more entertaining, but very similar.
And the only reason it relates to Sherman Church is
Hold up.
because they held their first festival at a nudity camp in Sherman, New York.
I have to check out the lore server because I think Phantom might be having another fucking fit.
Oh, jeez. Really? During Iceberg hour?
This might be a question for Sinaticus. Okay.
Oh yeah, Baph, the go-to.
Oh boy, Kentucky. The map finally updated. Kentucky is predictably geo. Obviously, it's Kentucky.
This is what the Church of the Subgenius thinks Prophet J.R. Dobbs looks. It's apparently based on a piece of clip art from 1950.
I gotta get my shit in order. Holy. Alright. The Guatu Mafia.
Okay, it has to do with Freemasonry, which I know you're more than familiar with, more than most people. So anyway, I want to say it's an offshoot, but Gatu means Great Architect of the Universe. Maybe you know something I don't. I mean,
if I understand that I could be mistaken here. But if I'm not mistaken, that's just their name for God?
Gatu?
The great architect of the universe?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken...
The Freemasons call God the Great Architect.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, they call him the great architect of the universe.
Which, well, I find it funny because you face enough accusations about being like some fucking world-controlling Kabbalic like cult, calling God by a different name, like the Great Architect, does not help your case.
No, I like that terminology. It's a lot more impartial.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's not helping their case with like, yeah, we're not, a cult or it's like, what? I mean,
I think the Masons are part misunderstood, part overrepresented. It's essentially, I don't know. Secret societies always pique people's interests.
Yeah, but I think it also has to do with like the G in the center of their logo stands for God in geography. I could be wrong there.
Masons are like a more utilitarian approach to theology.
Yeah.
I know you know a lot about them.
Well, I mean, I know more than the average person, but I'm not talking about that.
Very well. Should we just skip it?
It's as far as I can go with this. Hold up.
Okay, well, you don't have to discuss it.
Stop. File.
You're gonna cut that part out?
Save project as. I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm just switching back to fucking OBS.
So we got too deep.
My
what happened?
recording software is fucking up. So.
Boson, we got too deep.
No. My recording software is fucking up.
Your recording software couldn't handle the Church of the Subgenius.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a CIA
Like, it may
plot.
possibly end up you guys looking like you were just talking to yourselves and not me for 15 minutes.
That's
So-
funny.
Hissing noises.
So, well, actually, I found another cool thing about J.R. Bob. So apparently his nickname is Bob, and so they call him J.R. in quotes Bob, Dob. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll put those quotation marks around images of his head, so they act as like a halo. Like.
It's not that I'm scared to talk about the Masons. It's just I very possibly don't know enough to say anything for sure because, like I said, I've only been to a couple meetings, and so like.
I keep meeting people who have connections to them. It's starting to get spooky.
Yeah, well.
Connections to who?
Like,
The Freemasons?
I know like 10 people with like Masonic connections. It makes me want to get it interested. Look deeper.
Well, I mean, you can walk to your local lodge anytime you want to and join. I mean, they won't let you in.
I think you need people already in the group to like introduce.
Well, maybe.
I don't know.
You
There's
do.
there's this one enormous Freemason temple at the top of a mountain in Cumberland County. It's very nice to look at.
It just sucks for me because all my family members that would have helped me out in that area because they were members of the lodge are dead. So.
That
I don't
is
have
a
any family
mega
members.
move.
I wonder if it's worth getting involved in. Because, like, a fraternity never hurts anybody.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read and heard about it from my own family, it seems like it's very helpful.
I mean, male only. You know you're gonna have some high IQ.
Right.
Alright, we're gonna cut at Guato Mafia just for 1 minute. Start recording again.
It wasn't too interesting. Like, I think the most interesting thing we talked about during that hour was the Thunderbird photo hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna put a little thing, be like, hey guys, audio fucks up, sorry.
Thank you, Kentucky District 5.
By the way, we're capped at 11 hours.
Judge Boy is back. He missed the Freemason chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prison Planet.
Oh, wasn't that about Mars? Haven't we gone over that?
Yes, we have, but we still have to go over it. It's in the rules.
That's Mars slave colony. I'm pretty sure Prison Planet is something different.
It's a
Wasn't there a slave
website.
colony on the moon?
Hold on, it's a website.
Hold on, isn't Prison Planet Paul Joseph Watson's Twitter handle?
Alex Jones Prison Planet.
There's also a Clutch song called Escape from the Prison Planet.
Is this an Alex Jones website? It is.
Well, on the broader conspiracy side, isn't it just like the idea that the Earth is a prison? Just very basic.
Where are we?
Prison Planet.
One of these, the Earth is a giant blank for aliens, kind of. The Earth is a giant zoo for aliens. The Earth is a giant fucking parking lot for aliens.
That'd be pretty cool. Oh, the next one's pretty hot.
Sort by date.
Yeah, this one goes fucking deep, my friend. Like,
I hope you know more than I do.
I know, not a substantial amount, but enough to give a quick rundown. Whenever Sinaticus is ready.
I'm just, Right, I'm gonna black Prison Planet. We've gone over Eritas before, but I'm very enticed by it, so please proceed.
Yeah, I've since done some reading on it, and it gets fucking crazy.
Are we still in Lupin?
Hey, Sinaticus.
Of course we are. The tiers in this Iceberg have 100 things in them each.
Oh, I found it.
Of course we're still in...
Yeah, we'll never fucking live it.
How are you?
Hey Thermic, we're going down the Iceberg. It's woke out.
Alright, I'm gonna join you guys then.
Sure thing.
It's
Diversity.
woke hour here at the RPC Authority.
I see. Alright, which part are you on right now?
Right now we're on Eritas, which is quite the rabbit hole.
Want me to read the synopsis?
What's the synopsis you're reading? Because
It's from Know Your Meme.
yeah, that's where I get most of my information from. But I've read it already.
Yeah, but
So,
for the
well-
uninitiated.
Well, I can just say it while you catch up. Eritas, it started out as this idea that it was an algorithm that was used by a whole bunch of corporations to take down copyright, and that it had a special feature that would find and delete any mention of it on the internet. The reason that it hasn't taken down any of the current information that's available is because it's always spelled wrong, is the common theory, but neither here nor there. The thing that really got this started was, I think, the discovery of Chronos time for Jurassic Park. Is that the first thing?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, okay, so through a post on Moo, they found an obscure YouTube channel called Chronos Time for Jurassic Park, which had a video on the channel that mentioned Eratot. It had a bunch of weird videos about how YouTube is like ruining his life. It might have been a schizo, but it might, just a bunch of these crazy videos about how Eratos is like ruining everything and how YouTube is controlled by corporations.
Doesn't seem that difficult to. It seems likely,
And one of his YouTube videos was an address in Kentucky, which is listed on the Bandcamp page, which no longer exists, but it used to belong to a band called the KFC Murder Chicks. And the KFC Murder Chicks are a whole nother rabbit hole. But through the KFC Murder Chicks, they found another YouTube channel called Todd Ellsworth, which uploaded a song from the KFC Murder. And now, if you remember, the first YouTube channel was called Chronos Time for Jurassic, and the name Todd Ellsworth is an anagram for The Lost World, which was the name of Jurassic Park 2. So,
furthermore, people on 4chan tried to talk about it, but all the threads kept getting deleted, and users who mentioned this supposed AI were all banned.
Oh shit. So it's either A, the mods are fucking with everyone, or B.
It
and
doesn't seem like
Todd Ellsworth also has a Twitter. If he posted that picture that I posted on his Twitter, which has become to be associated with Eraton, but I think it's a police sketch of a rapist or something.
Is that Dwayne Johnson?
Whenever they say Eratos, are they spelling it the way that it's on this iceberg, or are they spelling it a different way?
Are they calling Eratos by its preferred pronouns?
Apparently not, because if they were, all the info would get deleted.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think you could test this for yourself very easily.
Yeah, but how do you properly spell it?
Who knows?
Okay, cool.
Well, how did they know?
Maybe they. Well, originally it was some guy who was claiming to have worked in software development in the early 2000s.
Cuban?
Also, apparently there was a weird page that was found in the reviews section of IMDb for Jurassic Park Lost World 2. Which apparently doesn't exist anymore, because when I click on the link, it just redirects me to the IMDb homepage.
Oh,
So,
see?
Wow, that thing's effective. Or all these links are fucking... Like, all of this is just a fucking joke played by some guy. Or a group of people.
well, this one would be particularly deep for one person to... There's like 3 different YouTube channels and an entire like Bandcamp
There's
songs
probably, like,
that all
couple
have since been a whole bunch of entirely different people on 4chan mentioning it and all their threads. They would have to force the janitors to delete their threads, which I don't think you can.
Yeah,
So
janitors could be on it too, though.
that's very unlikely.
I'm just saying, like, what it could be. I'm not exactly, like, trying to say, like, that's most likely what it is. I'm saying
Yeah.
it could also be, like, a reason. That it's just an elaborate game played by a lot of people on the internet. Kind of like Neutral Response.
No, the graphs and maps, by the way, are still blank. Except for Kentucky.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Alright, so we gonna move on?
Post-sadism.
Now this one's interesting.
Which part are you talking about now?
Post-sadism. Sinaticus, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Which
so
tier is that?
post-sadism is interesting. You need to envision hardcore communists of the classical, like Trotsky kind. Now, I need you to think of ancient aliens at the same time. Post-sadism is an anti-Stalinist worker conglomerate thing, just kind of a kind of a. Anyway, they believe in weird things, like how a new age of socialism will come about via aliens, and frequently practice water birthing and human-dolphin communication.
It sounds like something Orison would do.
He wouldn't because he's an ethno, commie.
Who's to say that doesn't involve dolphins?
They have been disorganized and reorganized at least 12 times.
Okay, thanks, Gage.
So I need you to think of aliens plus communists, and that's basically it.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like Orison.
Well, let me get a picture, because I found a mimetic.
Alien human dolphin hybrids.
Here you go, pal. Here's the meme, but it pretty much sums up your core points.
It's even got transhumanism in it, which
I remember seeing that.
Orson feels very strong about.
We should very quietly replace this commie role with post-sadism.
I don't see what post-sadism is.
It's in voice, you silly boy.
No, I'm talking about a fucking graph. Fucking.
What do you mean? What?
What are you talking about?
Sorry,
Talking
Mike.
about fucking Iceberg. Trying to look for it. I can't find it.
It's under care. It's in the Lupin section near the middle on the
Found it,
left.
yeah. Found it. It's right next to SLC daycare.
So post-sadism is space communism, which sounds very Star Trek.
It is Star Trek.
That's beyond Star Trek.
So, it goes as such. If there is a significantly advanced race that ever contacts the Earth, that must mean that their entire civilization is unified. Therefore, most certainly, aliens are socialists. And that post-sadism is the closest thing to intergalactic politics you can get.
That would just be the most depressing thing ever.
Best thing ever.
To find out that all those people that starved under Lysenkoism were right.
Fully automated luxury communism in space.
I don't think
Oh,
post
God.
is a thing. I'm gonna blank it out.
Alright.
It'd be like that one Scottish author's entire book set.
Emerald
bibliography.
Island, Nimrod Islands.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Well, the Nimrod Islands are a group of islands that were reported in an early expedition to Antarctica that don't apparently exist, at least anymore. Despite the fact that they were mapped out pretty, specifically by the guy who discovered them. But they're just not there.
So it could most likely be that they're trying to hide it from us.
Could. What do you think, Sinaticus?
I mean, there are plenty of land masses that have mysteriously disappeared.
That one sounds suspicious though.
You think we're gonna find out that the Nimrod Islands were actually in Mauritania the whole time?
Maybe they were
No, I am
adopted.
not a fan of Atlantis being in Antarctica. I think that's retarded.
A little bit of bias, don't you think?
Yes,
Downvote.
yes, absolutely. It's dumb. It's very dumb. I'm sorry, Baph.
They're
I
going
failed
to
you, Senpai.
include the strange pyramid down there.
It's not that anymore. If you go look it up, it looks like a regular mountain.
I think Emerald Island's kinda.
What about the big rectangular glacier?
Trying to try to hide it.
What about
the
the
hell is
giant
that?
rectangular glacier?
What the hell is that, by the way?
What?
What the hell is one?
Like the rectangular glacier. Like, what is that? You're right.
We don't know. They stopped talking about it.
Sort of like how people.
Well, yeah,
stopped
because
talking
people
about
people started to theorize about what it was, and they said, "Oh, we need to stop talking about it."
Shut it down.
Alright, so 2030 UN agenda.
It's
that?
just more. Baph is like more UN stuff. God damn.
It's getting boring because it's anything with the UN is like a 1990s boomer neo-Nazi conspiracy theory.
What is this one about? But just tell me.
Just look it up.
Well, maybe we should just auto-black it, right? I mean, because we don't fucking...
It's a real thing, it's just there's no proof it's anything shady.
Okay,
Alright,
cool. Moving on.
OJ is cold.
Right,
No,
OJ is Chloe's dad.
no,
We should
no.
talk about this one because I think it goes really in depth, and we need to have a really long discussion about
No, I blacked it.
Because
Moving
a lot
on.
of
Cuban
evidence-
acoustic
It's hard
tax.
to like Sinaticus doesn't want to talk about it. Move on.
Cuban acoustic attacks.
What the fuck?
Oh, what? Oh.
Cuban acoustic sex.
Oh yeah, that was a weird thing that was going on last year, where a lot of our ambassadors were getting like very ill and sick, seemingly out of nowhere, constantly. And I think, I'm not sure if it was proven, but it was certainly theorized that their sonic weaponry is being used. So much so, it was published to major publications. I'll try to get some examples.
Alright. Did anybody go to vote today?
That's it?
No, he's looking something up.
Okay.
This isn't proof, but it definitely ventures into it. Popular Mechanics, by the way, is kind of a respected group.
Is it out loud or?
So basically, diplomats, 24 of them from multiple countries, reported hearing unusual noises, and the later showed symptoms of neurological damage similar to the effects of a concussion.
Oh. That certainly is interesting.
Some of them had hearing problems later on. If it is sonic weaponry, there's no proof. But it is mighty interesting.
I think it's interesting. I don't know exactly if it's sonic weaponry though.
Boson, Sinaticus.
It's interesting.
Doesn't look like it's gonna be sonic weaponry though.
Honestly, I'm a little tempted to just end this here. I'm getting bombarded by a bunch of external shit at the moment.
Oof.
What do you mean?
Well, we know that weaponry like that is possible. We even have it in our military, so it's not entirely out of the question.
You know what? You have a good point there. I think, yeah, I'd keep it on there.
Yeah, I'd keep
I won't
it.
black that one.
Schizoanalysis.
Concept covered and created by Giles Deleuze, psychoanalyst Felix Guattari, and first expounded in their book Anti-Oedipus.
Okay. I guess that's just an insta black. It's got nothing to do with anything.
So it just does nothing? Alright.
U.S. Census genocide.
Is that related to like the fucking stone thing and like that everyone keeps pointing to about like the genocide of people? That
I think so.
The census genocide. Okay, well, this is something that's perpetuated by a lot of like Native American advocacy. They say that there was a paper genocide of the Native Americans because in the early days when recording the census, they would record Native Americans, but they wouldn't record them as Native Americans. They would like count them as part of the white population or the black population or the mulatto population, but they wouldn't record them as part of the Native population.
It's because their tribes rejected them, usually.
Well, I'm not saying I subscribe to this, I'm just saying that that's what the theory.
I'm blacking that one out.
Well, you're not the one blacking Thermic, it's Sinaticus.
Yeah, I
I'm
better
doing
say,
it
I
too
don't know
now.
what the fuck you on about.
I'm doing it too now. Fuck you.
Why?
Why not?
Because
it's
that's
not,
not the
it's not
idea.
part of the thing. You're not even a host. I'm fucking muting
I'm
you.
not.
Bundy shapeshifting.
Too bad of a mod, too. This shit.
What about Bundy shapeshifting?
Ted Bundy?
Wait, is that what it is?
Did you know that he was actually undercover?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was undercover.
I'm reading up on something.
Undercover?
Yeah.
Under
He was
which?
undercover.
Under which?
It doesn't matter.
organization?
He was undercover. He was looking for terrorists.
Alright, I guess.
Alright, so the whole Ted Bundy as a shapeshifter thing apparently comes from a bunch of people who were witnesses to his crimes, claiming that he, like, changed into a different person right in front of them before running away. And that's what made him so hard to catch, so hard for the police to catch. Or something to that effect.
Sinaticus, what do you think?
It's a little far-fetched.
I agree. Want to move on?
Bitcoin is created by world governments. That's just retarded. I'm blocking that.
Yeah, just go ahead and prove that.
1856 French pterodactyl.
God damn it! I wanted to get a screenshot of this, but it's not showing up.
What the heck?
I had to click on a Reddit link to read about the Ted Bundy thing, and as soon as you go to Reddit, it like locks the page and gives you a pop-up that says, "By the way, it's election day, and we want to make sure that all eligible Redditors make sure
Just
to contribute."
Just tell them you're ignorant and don't like the system and fuck whores or something.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you guys already do this one? Or was I going? Am I going blind?
Come on, just... No, we haven't done this.
Alright. I think it was inspiration. It was an inspiration.
Another pterodactyl.
I think this.
According to this, is a hoax. Never mind.
Yes. Yes, I googled it. I googled it and it said it is a. You're gonna have to go beyond that when we're talking about icebergs.
I don't know.
They're gonna be fucking 15,000. The Skeptics blog page that says it when you Google.
Okay, I found something even more interesting than that right now. Fuck.
Maps are getting updated.
Nice. French.
Okay, yeah. The story is that they found a living pterodactyl embedded in stone, and they broke it out, and it like woke up and flew away.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a
Like it-
totally
like
believable story.
It survived embedded in stone for millions of years. And
I mean, we found worms that did that, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah. Is it an instant blackout?
I think you just.
Is it
I would
instantly
black it out.
blacked?
Is it?
Alright, esoteric Hitlerism.
Is it harder? Is it blacked harder than Piper Perry?
Hold on, I'm calling.
Is it
Hold on.
possibly-
I'm calling Bodie.
Yeah, it's Bodhi.
What?
I'm writing a character, who's an esoteric Hitlerist. Based off the madman
Well then,
himself.
you should. Well, then you should know whether or not you want to black.
No, we
feel like
keep
I
it
should
every time. We've kept
stay.
it 3 times. So, I mean...
All right, then let's keep it.
You're gonna keep it now?
I mean...
Alright.
Yes, we've already said that. Come on, there's only one person editing these pages.
Electromagnetic radiation creates memories of alien abduction.
Oh Jesus, this is gonna be impossible to like find it full on with a name like.
I actually learned something interesting recently about like the nature of like seeing alien abductions in your sleep. In reality, it's more so based on your sleep paralysis, where in your state of sleep paralysis, because you have such an anomaly on hyperactive mind, because you just exited REM sleep, but also because of like, depending on if you're in a sexual attractive mood at the moment, you can actually almost see aliens like sort of probe you or do stuff to you, and you'll see people claim it, but in reality it was most likely just sleep paralysis.
So what you're saying is they secretly want to get butt fucked?
What? I guess they do. You could say that, but it's just dreams, and in dreams apparently you could have like very disturbing dreams with things you would never want to get it down with, and be okay with it in your dream, but wake up saying, "What the fuck?"
What does this have to do with electromagnetic radiation?
I was saying that
Nothing.
any dreams about alien abductions and memories about alien abductions likely because of sleep paralysis, which is engaged by REM sleep.
Okay, we gotta stay on topic, Thermic. Did anyone find anything related to the conspiracy theory?
The name is just too long to reliably search. Okay.
So, want to move on? Do something else?
Well, hold on. You give up too quickly.
Alright then.
Yeah, let me dictate the flow of it. We've been doing good for 11 hours.
Yeah, it's
think we need
the presumption of Thermic to just sort of jump in and be like, okay, it's time for me to dictate how fast this goes.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's time we just mute Thermic because.
Alright, what are we on now?
We're currently on electromagnetic radiation.
Just put in electromagnetic radiation, false memories, and go with that. I put it in wrong for mine.
I mean,
God damn it! Every fucking website I go to has a little pop-up that's like, "Oh, remember to vote. Fuck off. The election is over."
it isn't in California.
The results are coming in now.
There's still an hour left in most time zones.
Yeah. There's like,
Fuck you, Newport News.
4 hours left in California until it closes completely.
I'm not asking what
48
electromagnetic...
minutes here in Connecticut.
Some steady stuff.
Okay, let's see if it's here. Smartphone radiation could be damaging teens' brains.
That's just obvious.
Well, I take it that,
There is a lot of electromagnetic radiation involved with abductions and other UFO stuff, but I'm not seeing anything about false memories quite yet.
I'm gonna look up something else in advance.
Wait a minute.
no, we don't move ahead. That's a rule. You can stay back, but you can't move ahead.
Southwest Ghost Hunters Association?
Ghost hunters.
Ghost hunters.
I found this weird PDF.
How fucking deep is this rabbit hole? Give me that PDF.
It's from 2001. I don't know why it's here. There's... something about
What
sleeping
the fuck
hallucinogens.
is this?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Let me see this.
False memories, false experiences. To test this theory, Dr. Persinger sets up an experiment where he blindfolds a person and places a weak electromagnetic field helmet on their head.
What the fuck is this?
Something about serotonin.
I like the cartoony skeleton.
I feel like we've hit something here, boys.
We've struck gold! Endless amounts of gold!
I like
That's
how
what
the
the
end just
front of
has
the
a
paper
revolver.
looks like.
I like how the back of the book just has a revolver.
Oh my god, this PDF is amazing.
Factory? Electromagnetic influences in the brain? DMT, the elf hallucination? I'm fucking downloading this and exiting out. This is too deep for me at the moment.
You're gonna what?
I feel like we found the holy grail.
Congrats.
I love it. I love it. I really.
Naturally occurring serotonin overdose. Oh.
All right. What's next?
So I was
Alright,
right. I
up
was
next-
right. I was right about this.
Up next is Xana. Z-A-N-A.
Oh.
I couldn't find. There's so many Xanas.
All right. Now here's. I know what it is. And it's a tragic story. It's kind of funny, but it's also. So Xana. Yeah, it's the ape woman. It's the name of this African woman who was like kidnapped and was held hostage in this Russian village for years and like raped. It was really awful.
Oh yeah.
But she escaped into the woods, and a bunch of fucking people thought she was Bigfoot. like,
Was this the Russian one that was like...
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that's...
wait, is this the one that confused the one they confused to have be the ape that I don't know.
You know, it was just a really big hairy woman that just wanted love.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
but
that.
then people were like seeing her in the woods after she escaped,
Right.
being held hostage,
We're
and
just
everyone
gonna
thought she was Bigfoot.
we're just gonna move on to 2020 super volcanoes.
That's
We're
an
just
actual
gonna-
thing, Sinaticus. That's an actual thing.
It's fucked up, but it's real.
Yeah, but it's not a conspiracy theory.
You know you're right about that.
I feel like it could
super volcano just like revolve around Yellowstone, or is it like there's something deeper than that? Wow, Arbiter Soul would be fine if the fucking if Yellowstone erupted. Piece of shit.
Why is the functionality of Forpleb so off? Like I'll search for a single phrase, it'll come up with like 100 posts, and then I'll do a Control G, and only like 10% of them will actually contain the phrase. It's just bull.
What are you using again? Sorry.
A Forplebs is an archive for 4chan, or we're using the archives of X.
I
And
see.
it's-
I'll be right back.
It
I'm gonna
sucks.
get some dinner.
I'll use that too. Let's make it quicker.
We're starting to see the seats develop. So far, it's 2 for Democrat, 6 for Republican.
Yep. Wait, I'm only getting 5 for Republican.
Mine just refreshed and shows 6.
Oh, okay, I see it. It's a good start.
It is a good start. It's a good start.
The map, there was a blue district in Mississippi that just went gray again. Newport News went away too.
So wait, what are we on?
We're currently on 2020 supervolcano. Oh, by the way, I'm just blacking the Ban-Arctosky paradox. There's an entire
Okay, 'cause
Vsauce video
that's not
on
a
it.
conspiracy. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
not a
conspiracy.
conspiracy.
What the hell, the Bernard Tarkovsky paradox?
Tchaikovsky paradox.
Just look at the Vsauce video on it. It's really nothing.
Alright.
It's
I'll
like
keep
it's
that
like a
in mind.
metaphysical musing that just doesn't make any sense when applied to reality.
Yeah, I'll see this for later then.
I don't think anyone is interested in Volcano 2020. So we just skip it.
Yellowstone.
Like
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Alright, so what
I'm
about these
interested.
Walmart closures, huh?
But that was a big thing back in 2013.
Yeah, it was called Jade Helm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The boomers were like, they're preparing for martial law.
No, well, the reason part of it is that there were a bunch of WalMarts that were being closed. There was like a leak of military documents that had a bunch of like hostile zones marked, and people like looked and they saw that like all the WalMarts that are closing are the ones that are in these hostiles, and so they sort of connected the two. And there's a bunch of pictures of. Hold on, let me find it. So, like a bunch of pictures of like trucks taking military equipment to Walmarts or something. There was like a military helicopter that landed on one at some point. It's basically like the idea that the Walmarts are being converted into FEMA camps or something like that.
Someone ghost ping me.
Oh, the horror. But yeah, Sinaticus, if you look in voice, there are a bunch of images like that where they're carrying military equipment and buggies and stuff to the Walmarts. I'm sure.
Someone ghost pinged me too.
Yeah, I did it by accident. Because Bumblebee's name is very close to RPC officer.
Alright.
If someone mutes me, unmute me, because Lupin's gonna be a petty bitch.
That's fine.
What happened? What's Lupin doing?
If I get muted, it's gonna be Lupin's fault.
So I take it we
Alright.
got nothing on these Walmart closures?
I just gave you everything on the Walmart closure.
Oof. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention because of that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Thanks, Baph. Thanks for ghost pinging Sinaticus so he isn't fucking paying
Okay,
attention to what
just go ahead and just do a very quick rundown of it.
Well, a bunch of Walmarts were closing all across the country, and then after there's some government documents that got leaked. In the documents, there's a bunch of like enumerated like hostile zones. So people looked and they realized that like in the hostile zones is where all the Walmarts were closed, and so they drew a connection that there's something going on. There's a bunch of like military equipment being driven to the Walmarts. Like if you look at the image in Void, at some point some kind of like military helicopter landed behind one or something like that.
Alright, that's weird. J.K. Rowling is an actor.
I believe the correct term would be actress, actually.
Yes, yes indeed.
Baph, is J.K. Rowling an actor?
Is J.K. Rowling an actor? Is this real?
Wasn't it that like the Like there are like two of them. There's like the public image and then the actual J.K. Rowling who writes the books. I don't fucking know.
Search on all public boards. Nope.
God damn it! If you Google it, you just get a bunch of articles about how she's racist because they cast an Asian actress to play the snake. So,
What the fuck? What?
Intersectionality at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it's like 50,000 articles like J.K. Rowling defends decision to cast Asian actress as the snake, and it's like, why is she defending it? I don't. Is it a problem? I don't.
It's only a problem if you're an intersectional feminist. Civil War robotics.
That seems right up your alley.
Civil War robotics?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see.
Sorry.
I'm not seeing anything. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay, no, I'm not seeing anything about the Civil War.
Is there a reason why you dotted me?
Oh, that's because Lupin muted me.
Oh.
He did.
Oh, and then you got Thermic to unmute you. I see. My bad.
What happened?
Well, I haven't found anything on Civil War robotics. Have you?
No.
I think I'm just gonna head out right now.
Alright, well. Guess we gotta mute Blackett. Sea monks and sea bishops.
Why are you all unmuting me? I just realized that.
I mean, this one's very interesting. It's like these creatures that
It's these creatures.
it's these creatures that people supposedly saw all the time in like medieval times. These like sea creatures that looked like monks and bishops. Let me see if we can find some images.
Sea bishop? He's doing that.
Alright, sea bishop. And this is, let's see. It's just these weird fish that people saw that look like bishops and monks. And no one's been able to see them since, but they're so prevalent in imagery. Like, they're mentioned a whole bunch of times in a bunch of different texts. A whole bunch of different like sailors say that they saw them. So it's strange. It might be Atlanteans, though.
It's probably the Atlanteans. Star rot.
The first thing that comes up is something called star jelly. It's apparently found on grass and trees and branches. It's supposed to be deposited on Earth during meteor showers, according to folklore. It's usually translucent grayish-white gelatin that tends to evaporate shortly after having fallen. Explanations have ranged from materials being the remains of frogs, toads, or worms, or the byproducts of cyanobacteria, that is nitrogen, to the paranormal. Reports of the substance date back to the 14th century and have continued to present day.
Well, what I'm assuming is the explanation that relates to star rot is that star jelly is dropped from comets and meteors and stuff as they're sort of rotting away. But they've done tests on the stuff, and there's no like DNA traces in it or anything, so it's not from any animal. They don't know what it is.
Is there any nutritional value to it?
I don't know. Are you saying you want to eat?
Yeah. I want to see whether it's actual mana. And on that note, wasn't there a, didn't we find a town or something that had something similar, but it was, they found out it was like human jelly or something?
Yeah, it had human information in it. I distinctly remember that.
Like human DNA. I forget the place it was, but it was a very strange place that was like, it was published in their newspaper too.
Well, that's interesting. Aliens use humans for drug use.
Dun, dun.
Hot.
That sounds about right.
Is there any way of like
Adrena.
I don't understand how you'd like follow up with that.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know where you
Did
can
you eat
even
a
go
fucking
deeper
alien?
with that.
wouldn't you grind up an alien's bones just to snort it off?
I mean, I don't know. I'm blacking this and moving forward.
Yeah, there's nothing really more you can do with that.
The Tillinghast machine.
That sounds cool. Hold on.
It's from an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Tell me about it.
It's a story called From Beyond. This guy named
Wait.
Crawford Tillinghast, he creates a machine
Is this
that
the one where there's
stimulates.
like
Let me say it, Judge Boy, alright? Let me say it. It creates a wave that stimulates your pineal gland and allows you to see planes of reality beyond your perception. And what he sees is that there are a bunch of invisible, like alien ghost creatures that are all over the place and everywhere. The catch with the machine is that it also allows the creatures to see you, and so they attack him.
there's actually a movie about that. Forget the name. I think it might be the same thing. Yes, it is. It's by Stuart Gordon. Right here. There's a lot of BDSM in the film adaptation for some reason.
Yeah, it's just a machine that allows you to see beyond the veil, as such.
All right.
Or at least a
Stonehead
different-
of Guatemala.
looks like there's several different types of stoneheads. But a specific one seems to look more human than the others, which just look kind of pudgy. Hold on, let me... Oh, there's a UFO holic article about it. On August 16th, 1986, Dr. Oscar Rafael Padilla Lara, UFO enthusiast, philosopher, and lawyer at the time, received an intriguing photo of a monolith, which is pictured within that little article there. It's because its precise location was unknown at that time, with the only references being the date when the picture was taken in the 1950s, and the owner of the land who also took the photo where the colossal stone sculpture was located. However, the owner was apparently deceased, and Padilla was unable to find the exact location. It measures about at least 30 feet, judging after 3 men sitting on top of the head statue and after the car parked in front of it. The discovery was unique indeed, as it has looked like nothing found in Central America so far, meaning that the design and style would be significantly different, since most heads are just kind of pudgy and flat and round. In '87, the story of the bizarre stonehead was first printed in the Ancient Astronaut Society. Oh, this isn't going to be a consequence stir. This Indiana Jones made its quest to find... At first, Padilla spoke to a relative who analyzed the photo of the mysterious sculpture and managed to find a hint leading to one of the many properties owned by the Benier family, which I presume is one of the owners. He went into the jungles hoping to find it. When he finally reached the site of La Democracia, the excitement turned to anguish as the statue was lying there butchered by bullets with its features unrecognizable. The eyes know the statue was carved from sandstone, probably from highlighting its fine features, but because of its soft material, its fate was easily sealed for eternity.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And then the author of the article goes on to say how oddly similar it is to the Olmec civilization, yet completely different. The 12 Olmec statues depict pot-bellied human figures with flat faces looking toward the sky. They have a common Olmec aspect, which is a completely different style from the fine sculpture Patilla's head stonehead. Olmec predated Maya and is believed to be the first to build pyramids in Mesoamerica. Another theory supported by Philip Copens, a Belgian author and radio host, claims that another ancient civilization predating or post-dating the Olmecs was responsible for the Padilla head. I guess that's the conspiracy. If so, it's possible the only artifact left belonging to them has fallen victim to the ongoing war, and chances for a similar discovery are petty since the area remains troubled by conflict. This was made in... Oh, 2018, that's weird.
Well, alright. I'll launch a geode.
Oh, you know what the Alentegia?
Never heard of it.
It's the spark plug. out of place artifact, if you will.
I'm sure it is.
Would you say somebody made it? Perhaps someone more civilized than a human?
A Jew?
They do come from space. Sinaticus? Are you an ancient alien?
It's a spark embedded in a 500,000-year-old geo.
Well, I'd love to see it. Oh, there we go.
I posted it in it.
Oh yeah. Wonder how that happened. Are we keeping it or are we blacking it?
I don't know enough about this geo to black it, so. Antarctic bloodfalls. I want to see this if it's what I think it is.
Well, there's a lot of pictures. It certainly looks like blood.
It's probably just heavily bacteria enriched.
Apparently it's an outflow of iron oxide, rust, tainted plume of salt water flowing from the Taylor Glacier onto ice-covered surface of West Lake Burney. Okay.
Let's get an image.
Implications of snowball Earth hypothesis. Okay, what's this?
Baph, have you fallen asleep?
My bad, I'm just keeping up with the election.
Ugh.
Well, we're almost done. We're almost at our 2-hour mark here, so.
Plus, I'm having a quick meal.
Yeah. The now inaccessible subglacial
Well,
pool.
let's see if we can finish Lupin tier. How about that?
Alright.
I kind of want to get through it. Sealed off 1.2 million years ago, or 1.5 to 2, and transformed into a kind of time capsule isolating the ancient microbial. Oh, there is bacteria here.
Yeah.
Population for a sufficiently long time to evolve independently of other similar marine organisms.
How about an image?
Explains.
Let's see an image.
Astrobiology. I'm not seeing much here. See what the conspiracies are.
Alright, I guess I'll get it myself.
WikiLeaks photos. John Kerry visited UFOs in Antarctica. I don't think that's what that's for.
I'm gonna get an image of it up. Ah, it certainly does look like blood.
Yes, it really does.
does appear to be bacteria, or at least possible bacteria underneath there, but I'm not seeing actual confirmations.
Alright, well,
I would say keep it. I would say keep it for.
yeah. Grace Road Church.
So this was like a cult, a Christian cult in South Korea that decided to. It basically Jim Jones its followers. It decided that like the leader decided it would be a good idea to set up like this compound in Fiji. That was the Holy Land. That's where they were gonna thrive. Was in Fiji. So she set up this property in Fiji, and they all went there. And then a little bit later, a whole bunch of people came back and said that they were being held hostage there against their will. And the leader of the church got arrested and a bunch of stuff. Apparently, the church and a bunch of other South Korean religious institutions had a lot of connections with the higher-ups of the Fiji government and in the South Korean government as well. It's still being investigated. It's said that some people died while on the Fiji compound. It's all...
Is that the one with the strange, maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but there's a strange yoga cult that I think gained traction recently.
Well, I don't think it's anything to do with yoga. It seems like a Christian.
Must be a different one. Maybe it's from Tibet or something.
Yeah, Christianity is starting to spread around Asia like wildfire, and as a result, they've got a fuck ton of weird cults going on about.
There was that one guy who thought he was Jesus' brother and started a cult and nearly gassed an entire train in Japan.
No, I'm pretty sure he thought he was Jesus.
And then there was.
Are you talking about Aum Shinrikyo?
Yes.
I might be.
Yes.
Then there was one of the Chinese rebellions where there was a guy who actually thought he was the brother of Jesus. That's neither here nor there. Paulding Light.
It's just it's a ghost light in Michigan that people see all the time at a specific forest.
Alright, Victor's flying machine.
Hey Baph, why don't you take this one?
Baph is watching the election. He might have also fallen asleep.
There's nothing to watch. You just have to wait, like, at around 8 o'clock. California time. Or
He's probably keeping up with some whole happening thread.
Well, I'm also chewing on dinner. I didn't mean to be rude.
so am I.
We're 8 to 11 right now.
We have officially passed the 12-hour mark.
Excellent.
We've spent 12
Victor-
hours on this image.
Victor Gujuj
Could be an equal.
was an inventor. I believed he created some kind of flying anti-gravity platform. I would have to watch an 8-minute YouTube video to get the rundown on whether or not this is true, so I'm not going to.
Hold on, there's a...
Alright. Stone Age space travel.
I'm seeing some stuff on the magnetics of it. It looks fairly interesting, actually.
I'm pretty sure Stone Age space travel is probably some ancient alien stuff, so you could just black it if you want.
Yeah, black that, but the Victor thing's kind of interesting.
Oh, hold up. I accidentally have white activated. I don't think we need to go.
Suicide bridges.
Yeah, they exist, though.
Were they Japanese?
No. There's like one in England.
No, yeah, it's this bridge, or a series of bridges, where if you walk a dog over it, the dog will go fucking crazy and try to jump off.
cat spirit,
and
perhaps?
no one knows why. And there's a theory that it's like a certain kind of plant, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like it's a bit weird
Yeah.
because if it's a plant and that plant is kind of common, wouldn't this be happening all over the place?
Yeah. Camp Thunder Cove. Unless you guys want to revisit that. Also known as Camp Justice. 30-acre temporary, quote-unquote, personnel housing area serves the U.S. Air Force personnel assigned to Diego Garcia as part of USAF Expeditionary Force. It's been used in the 1960s, both port facilities and airstrip capable of handling largest aircraft. Construction of Camp Justice was the impetus for forced expulsion from 67 to 72 of the entire population of Chagosians living on the island by the British government. Population estimated 1,700 military personnel with further 1,500 civilian contractors. Mostly United States forces, with around 50 British troops stationed there. So wait, this sounds like it was a British holding, but they don't have much power there. Starting as early as 2004, rumors began to surface that the U.S. has been using Diego Garcia as a black site for the detention and torture of individuals captured in the global war of terror. 2006, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, one of the high-value detainees, was suspected to have been held in Diego Garcia.
So what's the conspiracy?
I'm looking. It looks like just people are being angry that spies and terrorists exist. And apparently they're angry that torture happens?
Yeah, I'm blacking this. Barbara Danton. Isn't... The fuck just happened? Okay. Isn't she that lady who had like claimed that like a ghost was following her on Facebook?
D.B. Cooper. That name sounds familiar.
Well, I don't know where you got that from because we're on Barbara Danton.
Yeah, no, it's related to her somehow.
Oh, okay.
The Hunt for D.B. Cooper. The Barb Dayton Confession. Confused, is that the person who made this article, or... Oh yeah, this was an X-Files episode at some point. Legend of D.B. Cooper. On December 4th, 1969, Robert Dayton became Barbara Dayton. Okay. The surgery did not go well, and Barb had to endure several more surgeries during the next year and a half. It had always been Barbara's hobby to plan the perfect heist, even though she never intended to execute any of the plans. While she was recuperating from the many surgeries, she was planning the skyjacking. Life as a female was difficult in the beginning. She couldn't find a job, and she felt isolated from her family and friends. I don't think that's because she was a female. By November 71, she had reached rock bottom. She had always been able to survive without relying on help from anyone, and now she was on welfare. Barb felt that she didn't fit into any world. Before the surgery, she felt she didn't fit in as a man. After surgery, she didn't feel like she fit in as a female either. She decided to execute the skyjacking plan she had devised. She wrote a letter to her kids. It's disgusting. Explaining why she had disappeared from their lives, and sent it to her mother, telling her, give it to the kids someday. apparently she jumped. He jumped. Outside of the skyjacking.
Okay. MK often.
MK often was a subsect of MK Ultra that used drugs and psychotics to try to mind control people.
Alright. Gwen Towers.
Gwen Towers are pretty good. Let me see if I can find a good.
Looks like there's more to the Dayton thing. Something about her just disappearing after the jump.
Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to read this, but I found this image to be really. It's the idea that these towers that you see everywhere are actually used to either control the weather or control people's minds. I like the latter much better.
Oh, I hate to break it to you, those are radio towers.
What if they're sending low
No,
frequency?
no. They can read your mind with this Google mind control technology used by Secret Service.
No, I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to black this and move on.
Oof.
S-Quest logs.
Now I've looked at them and I haven't been able to find anything. Judge Play. Maybe you can help me.
Ship logs, Lucy Quest, log files. I'm confused what they mean by S. Windswept logs. No, that's just RuneScape. Conspiracy's conclusion. Coalition. I'm not seeing anything. No, nothing. I can't find anything.
Alright. Oh, I guess we'll have to black it.
Just black it.
Volkswagen Mexican weather manipulation.
Now that sounds incredibly far-fetched, and I imagine that when you first read that, you thought that it was actually two different ones because it sounds so incredibly crazy. But actually, it's a real thing.
Nope, at this rate I'm not surprised, so...
Volkswagen as a corporation has been accused of altering the weather in Mexico via something called hail cannon, and that's been negatively affecting the crop. Oh my god, it's literally true.
What?
It's literally true. Volkswagen uses hail cannons to stop hail from falling near the factory so it won't dent the cars that are parked outside. And it's been affecting the crops.
Well,
I was expecting this article to be like, oh, you know, it's a crazy theory, I don't know why anyone thinks this, but the next sentence is literally, Volkswagen has since promised to stop using its cannons at the It's what? So yeah, don't black that because it's actually fucking true.
Well, if it's true, then it's not a conspiracy.
Oh my fucking god with the semantics. Just don't black it, okay?
So,
I mean, do you know how much Volkswagen probably pumps into various bribing agents and officers in order to get past California? Imagine how much they had to get it through Mexico.
forest stairs.
They're
There's-
random stairs that don't go anywhere, that just are there in national parks and no one knows what.
The rangers
they're-
are apparently creeped out, and they keep
Yeah.
appearing.
There are a few creepypastas about them, but they are still a real thing and no one knows their origins.
Well, time to write an RPC about that shit.
Well,
SS Watertown.
Oh, I'm getting
good old-
faces and
good old-
ghosts.
Haunted shit.
Oh, Jesus, there are faces. What is that?
Post an image to voice.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's a bit weird.
Okay. That's spooky. And the last one for this go. John W. Parsons Sorcery.
Okay, so I have the article open on John Parsons, and now stop me if this gets a bit too crazy. So John Parsons.
You cut out.
You're in rocket propulsion science.
No, Boson, you've cut out.
Oh. No, did that fix?
Maybe?
Alright, well, John Parsons is a rocket propulsion engineer, a rocket scientist, a chemist, and a Thelemite occultist.
Wow. Who could have ever anticipated that?
He knew Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard, and
Oh no.
the three of them had like escapades together, like they would go camping together and stuff.
Didn't Aleister Crowley like getting butt fucked or something?
Probably.
Like a weird fixation he kept going for.
Alright.
Yeah, but he knows a bunch of people that are high up in a bunch of occult stuff. So
Yeah. So the logical conclusion is he's a cultist. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. File.
Oh, I found a kooky video about the story of the SS Watertown with wacky sound effects.
12 minutes. 12 hours and 15 minutes. Oh
Congrats.
my god.
We practically finished looping.
We did finish looping. I tell you, man. I mean, you zoom out and you see that we're not even anywhere close to done.
I don't know.
it's intimidating. It's definitely intimidating.
Just makes me want to
We're
finish
gonna
it more.
finish it. We're gonna fucking finish this. Okay?
Oh no, we're getting to
Like almost a third way.
Yeah, like we're like. When you put it like that, it demoralizes me. I'm ending this video.